Welcome to Essential Oil Encyclopedia. We are super excited that you are here and we have a lot of good stuff to share with you. But first, let's introduce ourselves. So I'm Donnie. I am a wife. I'm a grandma. I'm a mom. I like to do all sorts of crafty things, and one of the things I love the most is essential oils. So I'm happy to share that with you.
My name's Alyssa. I am Donnie's daughter. I am also a wife and a mom to two cute little boys. I am into all the holistic natural stuff. Essential oils opened that door for me, so now we're into homeschooling and backyard chickens and a garden and all of that good stuff, and I'm very excited to be able to share this thing that we love with you guys.
So just a little bit about what we're planning to do here. We want to share a whole bunch of great videos with you guys about essential oils. There used to be quite a bit more stuff out about essential oils, but times kind of changed and we needed to be in compliance. And so a lot of those got pulled. So we thought that it would be good to share some stuff with you so that you could have a little bit more information. We feel like there's not enough out there. And so we want to be able to share that with you. So we're going to cover a lot about essential oils. We're going to do some basic videos that talk kind of about essential oils and each of the different essential oils, especially our favorites. And we're going to do some in-depth videos to give you more information that you want. We're planning to do recipes and stuff with our videos so that it gives you an idea what you want to use them for, some really good uses for them. We're going to talk about ways you can use essential oils, like with pets, because some people have pets they wish they knew how to do certain things with, and so we'll teach you how to use them with pets, for pregnancy, with your kids. Say, Alyssa used essential oils.
My favorite uses.
Yes, pregnancy was a huge one for her, and even childbirth when she gave birth. So that was super fun. We've done a lot of research on that, and obviously having kids and grandkids. There's so many ways you can use them.
Oh yeah, I use them constantly with my boys, constantly.
Yes, which is super good because then when I get the kids, then I can use them too. And I know that I'm being safe with the kids. So we're going to do some fun vlogs when we go and do events and stuff like that. We'll do vlogs and put those up here, and just a whole bunch of fun stuff that we hope you guys will come along for the ride and enjoy the journey with us.
So we are super duper excited. So to dive into our first video today is just Essential Oils 101. We just want to cover some of the basics of what essential oils are and different ways that you can use them. Some of you, this may be information that you've already heard before, and some of you it's going to be completely new. So we're just going to do kind of a basic rundown so that everybody feels comfortable with what essential oils are and how you can use them. So first things first, what are they? Essential oils, in the technical term, are volatile organic compounds. And the volatile part just means that if they're out in the air, they can easily distribute, they can evaporate, and that's all volatile means. It doesn't mean something sinister like it kind of sometimes sounds like it does, but that's all of it means. And organic compounds just means that it comes from plant nature, that kind of stuff. It's not something that is man-made. So when it comes from plants, it can come from all different parts of the plants. Each essential oil comes from a specific part of the plant, and there are even some plants that you get different essential oils from different parts of the plant. So some come from the leaves. In fact, a lot come from the leaves. Some come from the roots. Some, like frankincense, which we'll get into, that's a huge one, come from the resin from the plant. So they come from just all different things, and each different part of the plant is going to have different benefits because they have a different chemical makeup. They have different compounds that are present in them, which we won't dive into this video because that's definitely beyond the basics. That's very much more in-depth, and you don't have to know all the chemical makeup in order to effectively and safely use them. So, but just know they do have a different chemical makeup, and that is what gives them the ability to help support our bodies in all the various different ways that it does. So when you take all this plant matter, it has to be distilled down. Obviously, if you just take a leaf, it's not going to have the same benefits or effect as when it's distilled down. So it distills down and it takes out that one specific constituent that we're trying to get out. A lot of them are steam distilled, and so it will take and it will get that oil and it will take it away from all of the rest of the plant matter, distill it down into its pure form, and as long as you're getting it from a good reputable company, then it will be a pure essential oil. There won't be anything left in there besides that. And so then it's extremely potent and powerful when it's distilled down to just that pure form like that, which is why they're so powerful and effective in supporting our bodies. And now I'm going to let her tell you all about different ways that you can use them.
Yes. And I was just going to mention, it's kind of like herbs, but herbs are super good, but these are so much more potent and so much more pure form of using the plants that we have in nature that it's amazing.
Definitely.
So 3 ways that you can use essential oils. The first one is aromatically. We'll get into each of these here in just a minute. The second one is topically, and then the third is internally. And just so you know, not every essential oil can be used in all 3 ways. So they're made differently. They're meant for different things, and so you need to know the uses of the different oils and which ones can be used internally, because when we say you can use them internally, well, they can't all be used internally. So as we get into each of the oils, we'll make sure we let you know which ones can and which ones can't, so that you can safely use them. But the one thing about essential oils is they're not all created the same, because there's different quality of oils. If you can buy an essential oil at a dollar store, please don't. Because that you are not getting a good quality oil. The purity is not going to be there. A lot of oils are adulterated, and when we say that, that means that we were talking about it before, and it's like, think of Frankenstein, right? What created Frankenstein? It was a whole bunch of different parts to create something that wasn't a real person. It wasn't how it should have been. And so when you think of it in an essential oil, it's where you take an oil and you're adding other things. I mean, people could take an oil they've taken and they've gotten some of the good stuff, but then they add castor oil or cooking oil or anything like that, but they're still calling it an essential oil, even though it has stuff added into it. So you want to make sure that you're not using adulterated oils, that you really know the quality of the oils that you're using, especially if you're going to use them internally.
Yes, I mean, sometimes they just flat out lie. The essential oil industry is not regulated the way other industries are, so they can seriously put anything in a bottle and say, oh, this is geranium oil, and it might not really be.
Yeah, so be careful, because if you know what's supposed to be in them, they can still say that stuff is in the oil, even though it has a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't want. So just be careful about what essential oils you use. And we'll get into what our preference is here in just a minute, but we want to tell you obviously about oils first. So,
all right. So first, aromatically. It's one of the easiest and simplest ways that you can use an essential oil. It's just like what it sounds. It's inhaling it. It's breathing it in. I mean, you can just be as basic as opening up that essential oil bottle and just take a nice deep inhale. That is using it aromatically. You can also put it in a diffuser, which will just kind of dissipate it into the air. That's really good for both health benefits and if you're trying to steer clear of things like candles, which have toxic ingredients in them from the toxic fragrances and the toxic waxes that are used and just all of that kind of stuff. It's a really safe way to put a nice scent in your home. But aromatically, is very simple and it sounds very simple, but it's still very powerful and effective. You have a lot of nerve receptors and things that have to do with your olfactory system, and so it does actually get in your bloodstream. It does affect your whole body that way, and especially emotions. Emotions are very affected by our olfactory system. If you've ever, like for me, when I was growing up, on the first day of school, my mom would always bake us cookies, right? We grew up with my mom baking bread. So those are smells that are very familiar with me and have really like happy memories attached to them. So when I smell those smells, which I'm sure you've had this happen to you too, when you smell something from a similar experience, it makes you feel happy and warm and fuzzy the way you did, even if you're not having that same experience. And essential oils are much the same way because they affect your olfactory system. So they can really have a big effect on your emotions. And they are super great to use that way. They're even great, which we won't get into this too much right now, but for helping with different traumatic things to help you kind of move past that and associate different things with it and kind of break through that. So simple, but important and very effective way to use them.
yes. And they smell really good. So
They all smell great. Well,
The good ones.
Most of them
The good
smell
ones
really
smell
good.
really good. Yes.
There's a few that I'm like, I'll use this because it's good for me, but it's not my favorite
Yes.
smell.
Yes. That's true. Okay, the next way you use them is topically. And just, I mean, exactly what it is topically. You put it onto your skin. And so there's different oils you can use for different things on your skin. You have different sensors on your skin. Your feet are a really good source of putting oils onto your skin because they absorb into your feet. You can put them over your heart. You can put them on different areas of your body where you may be having discomfort. And so you can use them on your skin, but topically, literally you're putting them onto your body. That is what topically means. And so we'll talk about different ones that are really good for different areas of use on your skin. But you can always put them on your feet if you're ever in doubt, because your feet not only have good pores on your feet to get them absorbed into your body, but they also don't have like skin sensitiveness that you can have on other parts of your body that you may not want to put a hot oil on.
Yes.
So feet are always a good option. But like if you had a headache, you could rub it on your forehead. You could still rub it on your feet if you wanted. But so as we get into the different oils, we'll show you how you can use those topically.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. And so the last one is internal, and this is the one that you have to be the most careful with. Definitely with what she was talking about with the adulterated oils, obviously you're not going to want to put something in your body if you don't actually know what's in it. I don't know about you, but when I go to the grocery store, I'm reading all the labels, I'm seeing what ingredients in all of the food, and I'm putting a lot of them back because they have stuff in them that I don't want in my body or in the body of my kids. So
because of you, I'm reading all the labels on all the food I buy.
Yes. So it's going to be the same way. You want to get it from a trusted company so that when they say what's on the bottle, you know that's what's really in the bottle. So that's the first thing with internal. Make sure you know what's in it. Second, not all oils, even if they're from a reputable company, are safe to take internally. For example, wintergreen. Fantastic oil. I love it. It's one of my favorite smells. But pure wintergreen essential oil, if taken internally, can thin your blood, which is not safe. It's kind of similar to an aspirin kind of effect. But it's not safe to take internally that way. That's not an effect that you want to be getting from an essential oil. So you'll notice with some of the oils that we use, wintergreen is one that has a childproof cap on it because it's not one that you want to take internally. But all of that being said, there are many that are super beneficial to take internally. And kind of like you get the targeted areas when you do it topically, you can do that internally as well if you're trying to target like your digestive system. Obviously, you take it internally, where is it going to go? It's going to go to your digestive system. So if that's the area of your body that you're trying to support, internal is a great way to do it. Peppermint is a great oil for that. But you can also affect things that are like whole body systems, like your immune system. So if you want to strengthen your immune system, if it's that time of year when people are getting sick, up, right, left, down, whatever,
We've all
you
been
want
there.
to support your immune system, essential oils can be a great way to do that, and internally is awesome for that. And just a fun way to do it is to use them for cooking. You're not going to want to use a ton because they're concentrated, so the flavor is also very concentrated. But yeah, you can use them for cooking, which is fun because I've had this happen where I need a certain herb and I don't have any in my spice cabinet. So I grab one of my essential oils and I'm like, oh, well, this will work. So great. So yes, internally is a great way to use them as well.
And we do have some yummy recipes that when we talk about some of the oils,
yes,
wait for the scone recipe, because I do have a scone recipe that uses essential oils. So
she does, and it's very good.
So good.
Very good.
So we'll make sure we share that with you when we get to that oil. So yes, I do love using them internally, but I am careful which ones I use. So.
Oh, and another note on that, I should have said, with kids, you don't want kids to take them internally, not until they're older. Internally is an adult thing.
It is, yep.
So just keep that in mind.
And I should have mentioned also with topically, with kids, you can use fractionated coconut oil to actually dilute them so that if their skin does have a sensitivity to it, if you dilute them, it obviously helps not to, there are some oils we call hot oils, and it helps to not cause an irritation on their skin if you dilute it with with fractionated coconut oil. So
that's perfect.
Yeah. So kids are a different one, which is why we will get into some kid videos, just because you have to be careful. Regardless of what you're using for your kids, you just have to be careful. So, but all that being said, Essential oils are amazing. We absolutely love them. They're 100% natural, which obviously has become super important to both of us. Especially, I mean, I wished I had them when my kids were little because that's what I would have used because they're natural. I love natural. And obviously my daughters have got me even more into the natural aspect of it. But they can be tailored specifically to your needs. So they help to support your body and what it needs rather than masking things that may be causing you discomfort or different symptoms that you may be having. So they actually help to support your body in those areas, which is why, you know, we want to give you some good information about that. They work with your body. Obviously, oils can be metabolized in your body. It's kind of like, you know, when you eat and you're metabolizing the different things that are coming out of the food you're eating. Your bodies are really good at metabolizing essential oils because they're from nature.
They're in your food.
They're in your food. And so, so anyway, that's obviously why we love them, is because we love the natural aspect of them and how they help to support our bodies in that really, really natural way.
So now that we've covered why essential oils are so fantastic, the company that we use and we love and trust is doTERRA. For some of you, you may not have heard of them, and for some of you, you're like, yes, that's what I use too. I totally get why. But really quickly, we're going to tell you why, just so that you know. So doTERRA we love because of their quality. They put extensive time and money into researching, doing all sorts of like scientific study and trials. They have legitimate clinical trials that they do with the essential oils, which I don't know about you, but that speaks my language. I love that. I love that they're actually out there testing it, not just saying, hey, use these, go ahead. Like, they're actually out there doing these tests. They have scientists on staff at doTERRA, and they do third-party stuff. So they're really, really digging into the science of these oils.
They even put the testing numbers on the bottles.
They put the testing numbers on the bottles so that you can go check them.
Yep.
Then the quality, they do 8 different kinds of tests on each batch of oil to make sure that they are what they say they are, that they're unadulterated, which we've talked about, that they're pure, that they are what they say they are. There's no heavy metals or anything like that in the oils that can naturally occur in nature, but obviously aren't something we want to be putting in our body. And if they fail any of the tests that doTERRA does, they throw the batch out. They don't try and, for instance, remove the heavy metals or anything like that. They throw it out because they're not willing to compromise the purity and quality of the oils for profits. If it doesn't pass, it's out. And that gives me huge comfort when I'm using them for me and my family. I want somebody that holds themselves to that standard. So I love that.
Yes. And the last reason, which is, I mean, it's big for us, but not any bigger than the other ones that Alyssa talked about, is they have a moral compass. They are a company that is, I mean, they are owned by the people who started it. They take responsibility for themselves. They really are guided by what we value. And so we have huge respect for the fact that they're an upstanding, good company. They believe in what they do. They really do want to provide the purest quality oils. They take that so seriously. They talk about it so much that you can tell that it matters to them. And it's super easy to take what nature gave us and change it and take away all the good stuff out of it and then still say it's good. You take away the magic of what nature gave us, and doTERRA won't do that. They absolutely will not do that. They make sure that what they provide is really in the purest form nature gave it to us. And so that's why we love it. It's why we use it. And it's why we're proud to say that we use it, because it's a company that we believe in every day. So it's why we do.
Yep. So we love it. So just kind of as a wrap, we love essential oils because they are all about taking personal responsibility for your health. I don't know anybody who uses essential oils who wouldn't be willing to say, yes, I take personal responsibility for my health. I am willing to go and seek out the things that best support my body and help me to find my healthiest version of myself, and for my family the same thing. So I love that. I love that we're not taking away that power and giving it to somebody else to say, hey, deal with this for me. We're taking that personal responsibility to say, okay, these are the tools that I have. I can take personal responsibility. I can take charge of my health, and I can do that for my family as well. And we love that. That's so, so, so important. And just a little interesting note, in doing some research, I came across that our ancestors, you know, back before this whole industrialized world.
She does lots of research.
Which
I love.
They would come in contact with hundreds of plant chemicals every day. And obviously they probably weren't distilled down the way our essential oils are, but you know, you touch the leaves, you touch an orange peel, smell your hands. That smell is the essential oils. So they were coming in contact with hundreds of plant chemicals every day. And on average, in today's modern world, we come in contact with maybe 10 a day of like real plant compounds, plant chemicals, I know, and hundreds of synthetic chemicals. And so I want to flip the script on that. I don't want to come in contact with all those nasty synthetic chemicals that can harm our health. I want to be one of the people that's coming in contact with hundreds of plant chemicals that are natural and good for you. So we're super duper excited to have this channel up and going. We hope it's a huge resource for you guys, that you can just come scroll through the videos and say, oh, my friend gave me a bottle of rosemary. I wonder how I could use that. What even is that? Click, there's a video. You've got all sorts of resources. You've got recipes. You've got everything you could need to feel confident anywhere you are in your essential oil journey.
So thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you along the way. Please give us your input if there's something you really want to see, and we'll see what we can do to fill that need for you.
Yep. And don't forget to like it if you like this video, comment, let us know what you liked, didn't like, if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're going to be hopefully putting out videos every single week. That's our plan. Some weeks you might get more. And yeah, so we'll see you in the next one.
Yes.